Welcome to Standing on Business with Eric Foss. I'm your host, Eric Foss. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Standing on Business with Eric Foss. I'm your host, Eric Foss. Okay, guys, it's been a long weekend, a lot of stuff. There's a lot of topics to go over. I'm going to start with the Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney fight that just happened Saturday. Crazy thing about it, as soon as I was about to get up and start making this content, I had a message from a very good friend of mine, my friend Jeremy. He messaged me, he's like, when are you putting out something else? I was about to message him back and talk about this Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney fight. He said, before I could even do that, he sent a message, you got to talk about the Ryan Garcia fight. So this was for you, Jeremy. Okay, guys, if you tuned in, it was an awesome fight. Fight of the year so far, definitely. Ryan showed up 3 pounds overweight for this fight. They were supposed to fight at 140. He came in at 143, 3 pounds over. He wasn't trained. And, I mean, he basically took Devin Haney to school. A few things about this fight. Okay, all the way up until the fight, Ryan's been going off and, acting a little crazy. He had some antics going on and all. A lot of stuff he's talking about is actually true, though. The guy might not be crazy. Maybe he's just putting some things out there. But Haney is a little bit too cocky. First off, he's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, he's coming out, he's talking all this trash like he's better than Floyd Mayweather, or at least on the same level. He's got his father running his mouth too much. His father talks too much trash. And he just got walloped. If you look at the fight, here's the thing about Ryan. Tank even said this. Tank Davis, Gervonta Davis, who I believe is the face of boxing right now. Tank beat Ryan with a body shot. But when he was talking about Ryan afterwards, he did say this: Ryan hit him harder than anybody's ever hit him. The boy's got pop in his punches. He hits hard. That can't be taught. Speed. Ryan has tremendous speed, just naturally athletically gifted. Now I don't know if he takes things more serious. Who knows where this kid could go. But anyway, let's get into the fight. As you see the fight progress along, when Ryan caught him in the first round, Haney almost went out. I don't think that he ever recovered from that point. And the referee was on board. The referee was on board like, we gotta save Haney somehow. Boxing is so corrupt, so you never know who's involved, why, what reasons, But if you notice the fight, I seen Haney get dropped 6 times, maybe 7, and they only counted 3. The referee the whole time was just, he was protecting Haney like at all costs. Truthfully, he was protecting him for the W, but you're a referee, buddy. You're supposed to protect the guy's health. That man took a lot of damage. Honestly, I believe the fight should have been stopped. Rounds 2 through 5, I give to Haney. All right. But at the same time, what Ryan was doing was conserving a lot of energy when he was trying that, the Philly shell or the Mayweather shell or whatever you want to call it. It's not a good look for Ryan. He looks pretty awkward doing it, but it worked. Haney pretty much punched himself out, not with power punches, but just frustration-wise. He's just not being able to get to him. Also, he didn't have the power. He just didn't have the power to keep Ryan up off of him. See, that's the difference. Tank has that power. When Tank hits Ryan, he can keep him up off him. Haney can't. Talk about the 3 pounds. Now, people are like, 3 pounds, it really doesn't make a difference. Okay, what you're not realizing is it's not just 3 pounds. It's the last 3 pounds. Okay, so now what I mean by that is you're getting down to make weight. And it's a struggle, especially for Ryan. Ryan's the naturally bigger guy. So he's struggling to get down to 143, 145 even. Now, if you take that extra 3 pounds, he would come in dehydrated, gaunt looking, not healthy, would have a lot less stamina, a lot less pop in his punches. And when you get hit and it's like being up drinking for 3 or 4 days, you know, or just running around on ripping and running and then getting into a fight or something like that. And, you know, you're going to take more damage than somebody who's just, you know, eating healthy and everything like that. So it did make a difference. But if you look at the fight, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Haney does. It's a horrible matchup for Haney in the pros. In the amateurs, the amateurs is more of a point system. Okay, you got the headgear, you got the. I believe they got 16-ounce gloves in the amateurs, something like that. It's more of a point system. Like if you remember, Henry Tillman, he beat Mike Tyson in the amateurs. I believe he beat Mike Tyson twice. I know he beat him at the Olympic trials. In the pros, Tyson just dusted him. Boom, didn't even go a whole round. The reason being is, once you're at the pro level, now that power comes in. You know, so they were pretty much even. They were 3-3. They fought 6 times the amateurs, so they were 3-3. So that's a wash, you know, amateur point wise, everything like that, and that speaks a lot to Ryan. And I'll say this because that shows that he does have the skills to actually outbox Devin Haney because he's done it 3 times in the amateurs. But now you're in the pros. Everything comes into play now. And you've seen what happened, what the results were. Haney's gotten too cocky. Way too cocky. Coming out, I'll never let a white boy beat me. A couple fights ago, Lomachenko beat you. But they gave that decision to you. Reason why they gave that decision, Lomachenko already had 2 losses on his record. He's 31, 32 years old. Devin's younger, was undefeated. So they got to keep that progression. They got to keep that going. That's what I'm trying to pretty much figuring out about the way that they were with this fight. Now, when the judges first came out and the one judge scored the fight even, I freaked out. Thank God the other 2 judges weren't on board. I said, there is no way. There is no way. I don't care if, because it possibly, Devin might have won 5 or 6 rounds, like point-wise. But if you watch the fight, he got his ass whipped. Got his ass whipped. There's no argument there. So you get the one judge that makes it totally even. I think 112 or whatever. And then the other 2, they got on board. You know what I mean? So I was glad to see Ryan get that. Now back to Haney being so disrespectful. He's disrespecting the sport. Running around, you know, talking this trash. He's downplaying everybody. And it just caught up to him. His father's got a lot of mouth, you know, and he, you know, you're not in there fighting, bro. You're putting your son out there. And recently, Devin's taken a lot of damage. Just recently. He had that incident where he was sparring with Bud Crawford and he had to go to the hospital or whatever. So there's some damage there. This fight obviously took damage. Back in the sparring footage, but this is a long time ago, this isn't recently, you've seen Tank put it on his ass in a sparring match, okay? Almost took him out of there. So the thing about Devin is, man, he's taken a lot of damage for a young fighter thus far in his career. That's not good. That's not good. If you ever notice, like fighters like that, like it's usually at the end of their career, like a Chuck Liddell, you know, people like that. You take so much damage, then every fight, it's easier to get knocked out, you know, because, you know, that's your brain. That's your brain taking all this punishment. That's another thing about the weight cuts and the hydration. It's fluid. You need fluids in you. So if you're coming there dehydrated, your brain's got fluids. So I would assume that the fluids would be lower or whatever. But on to Ryan. What does Ryan do now? Obviously, he didn't win the belts. But let's be real. The belts don't mean shit. The belts don't mean nothing. The Ring Magazine title means something, honestly, in boxing. That's what means something, because it's all the corruption, these promoters and stuff like this. So now with Ryan doesn't want to go back to 140, and I don't blame him. So what does he do? 147. All right. That's cool. But here's a hint of advice to him. He's going to have to learn that Philly shell a lot better than he knows it now. Because them fighters at 147, they can crank. They can pop. They pop a lot harder than them guys. You know, everybody up in 147 has power. Compared to the 140. That's what I'm saying. So I'm pretty sure he's going to move up to there. He was talking about 154. I mean, just pump your brakes, Ryan. I don't know what success he'll have. He's going to have to, like I said, he's going to have to tighten up on his defense if he goes up. But like I said, that's what he's equipped for. He's got the power and he's got the speed. The boy's got a mean left hook. I mean, look, one-trick pony. One-trick pony. That's what Devin's calling him. That looked like a one-trick thoroughbred racehorse because you couldn't stop it. You know it's coming. Ryan never faked like he wasn't going to come at you like that. And he came at you like that the whole fight, and he caught you plenty of times. He just basically, he's the better fighter. He's stronger. If they fought again, same results. Haney needs to rethink what he's going to do. I mean, do you really think Haney could mix it up in there with Tank? Tank would get him out of there. Tank will finish him. Tank has a high boxing IQ, and one thing about Tank, he knows when blood's in the water. He knows when to get you out of there. He doesn't have a lot of output, doesn't throw a lot of punches, but he's the most accurate puncher. So pay attention to that. So I don't see where Devin can really draw anymore. Actually, this fight, he was actually the B side of this fight. Their split was 55-45, Ryan's favor. And the reason why is Ryan has the bigger following. You know, he puts asses in the seats. So Devin, now, you're definitely going to be B-side, even though you got them bullshit titles. I mean, I don't see who you can match him up with. And as for Ryan, people are talking Pitbull Cruz. That will be a battle. That will be a battle. It's hard to call these fights because if Ryan really, if he catches you, you know, you're in trouble. Just like even Tank said it. I mean, and Tank's not going to lie. He's not going to give credit where it's not due. You know what I mean? So Cruz and Garcia, that would be a banger. That would be a banger. I'd like to see that. What is Ryan doing though, for real? Was he playing a role the whole time? Was he sitting here? Was he acting crazy? Was that really a beer that he drank on the scale? They're saying now it's apple cider, but I don't know. But when I did see him guzzle it, I was like, God damn. I mean, I've been a drinker for a long time, and I don't know if I could guzzle a beer like that without no reaction. You know what I mean? Beer kind of sucks. The fight was very entertaining. Actually, if you had noticed something too, when I'm talking about this referee and the corruption, look how bad he tried to protect Devin. The first knockdown, the legitimate first knockdown of the fight, the referee wanted to call that a slippage. He wanted to call that a slip, if you notice that. But he couldn't, because if Devin would have got up right away, they would have called that a slip. But when Devin tried to get up, when he was face planted, he had to start counting, because now it's not a slip. But that's what the referee was trying to do the entire time. Anytime Ryan would get out on him or be ready to put him out there, the ref would come in. He actually deducted a point from Ryan for, I think, hitting him off the brake too fast or whatever. Come on, man. This is protect yourself at all times. And take a point. I mean, give the guy a warning, if anything. You didn't give Devin no warnings for holding. I mean, he was on Ryan's waist. I mean, that whole round, just stumbling around, falling down. I mean, how much time does he get? The fight should have been stopped that round. That was the seventh round, I believe. I believe that was the seventh round. When you just knew that it was over. You just knew it wasn't even going to be, you know. It should have been stopped that round. But he was trying to protect him. And, like, I'm giving the referee grief. A lot of people are giving the referee grief. At the end of the day, though, he deserves it. But also, we also don't know. We don't know what the real instructions are. This sport is corrupt. They want to keep, see, what's happening now is you have too many belts and you have too many promoters. Now, the promoters want the champion. All right? So that's why a lot of times you'll see fighters that don't fight each other. They'll be like, oh, this one's ducking this one, this one's ducking that one. I'm going to be real. They're fighters. They're not ducking each other. They're not scared of each other. They've been boxing their whole life. It's the promoters that they don't want to take a risk of losing their cash cow. Because the thing about boxing that it really gets to me too is one loss could screw up your career nowadays. That's how bad this is. I mean, one loss. Some of your best fighters in MMA have multiple losses. And the reason being, bro, any night, anything can happen. So, like, one loss isn't that terrible. So everybody now is out to protect that zero so much that it's become more corrupt. Because now you got judges on board, referees on board. It's all about protecting that zero, and it's ruining the sport. And I can't even be mad at the fighters because these are young guys. They're trying to make money. They're trying to feed their families. So, they want to protect that zero. But it's ruining boxing. And like I said, now, Devin doesn't have that zero anymore. He's got one loss officially. But I mean, in my mind, he's got two losses. Right off the top of my head, Lomachenko and Ryan. And they're gonna be by what? How's that working out for you, Devin? Like, come on, man. You gotta stop that crazy stuff too, man. People are people. Sports are sport. Fighters are fighters. It doesn't matter. Hopefully, though, he didn't take too much damage, whereas though his career's screwed up now or whatever, and he can get back on his feet because the guy, he has worked hard since he's been a kid, and you don't want to see nobody just the whole career go downhill like that. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's all about that O. It's all about, you take one loss and next thing you know, you're garbage, you're a bum. People don't want to see you. Ryan, people are always going to want to see him. People are always going to want to see him. He's got that YouTube following. He's got the whole, social media, all that kind of stuff. So he's not going to have no problems. But his problem is going to be matchups now. It's going to be getting in there with the guys who can actually bang. He's been in there with a guy who can bang at the 140, and that was Tank. And that didn't work out too well for him. Now they're saying he had a rib injury, whatever. But here's the deal with Ryan. He gets hit. It's not like he doesn't take shots. Because Tank dropped him in the second round in that fight. He beat him with a body shot in the 7th or 8th round, I believe, the 8th round. And that was, Ryan said he had a rib injury, everything like that. Okay, that's fine and dandy. But still, in that second round, Tank got a clean one off on you. So if you got these guys who hit like Tank at 147 and you're getting caught with these clean shots, like I said, you're going to have to tighten up your defense. But now if Ryan catches them, if Ryan can, incorporate his speed into that division and get off a few nice fights, he should be all right. I actually enjoyed the fight. Besides the referee and that one judge that had it scored even. Do I want to see a rematch? No. I mean, I will watch it obviously because it was a great fight or whatever, but I don't see where can you rematch at? Where? What weight? What weight? Ryan can't go down to 140. He's not going down to 140. He even said it. He feels horrible at 140, so he's not going down there. Devin, you're not coming up. Don't even think about it. Do not pass go. Trust me. Do not pass go. You can't go up. You've already taken too much damage already. You get hit clean. You can't do that in the higher weight classes because it's going to end terrible for you. Guys, just let me know in the comments. Jeremy, I hope you comment on this. What do you guys think? What do you think would be the matchup at 147 that you would like to see with Ryan? And what do you guys think Devin should do? That's the real question. What should Devin do? Where should he go from here? Who should he fight? What could get him back on the map? Teofimo Lopez? Suggestion, you know what I mean? Just a suggestion. What weight is he fighting at now? Is he at 140? I'm not actually sure of that. It's just a fighter, just off the top of my head. I know he was at 140. I don't know if he moved up, whatever. Yeah, guys, just let me know in the comments. But the big thing is, where does Devin's career go from here? We never know what the hell's going on with Ryan. But okay, guys, until next time, remember, always stand on business. Thanks for watching.